Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so little hint there. Would have the t-shirt on, but it went from distressed to in great distress. So hey, right, what have we got? Some more things arrived at the post. Quick note: the last video, if anyone caught it, I unboxed a Notorious box brick, and one of my big wants was the Rachel Ghoul Prime. I thought I'd got the standard one, which is what I want as well. Anyway, so I just went through this one. I went through and had a better look because it was in a bit of a rush, and it was actually the Prime, so I did get my big want, which is great. So today, anyway, moving on. In the 90s, big stories. DC decided, I can't remember without looking into it, the reasons. I don't think the comics were doing very well, or they needed a big thing. So the two big hitters, two or three at least, Superman and Batman, had massive stories. We saw Nightfall. The big one for Superman was that they were going to kill off Superman. Kill off one of their landmark characters. So this gets tongues wagging, people have a look. And it came to fruition with, bum bum bum, the death of Superman. And this is obviously followed with the story of the reign of the Superman. Which one's what, superhero characters come back and take a look. I'm taking a look, saying as I'm thinking. So superhero characters come back and kind of take his place. People aren't sure, is it him, is it not him? And they kind of go that way, and how do they fill the void and find their space in it? He basically has a huge fight with a character they introduced, I think it's an introduction, called Doomsday. Great entrance to a comic. You just hear this boom, hearing, boom, boom. And you see it's like fist bangs, pounding against the blackness, and it bursts out. Anyway, carnage ensues. I won't go through the story. Let's do the unboxing. So, beautifully presented box here. Bang. All goes in there like that. With that symbol, so that everyone's here it is gone. I haven't got a pen. This is a pencil or a pen knife or a key. Right, how do I get this tape without wrecking the box? I like to keep the presentation box nice, you see. Right, come on. There we go. Oh, it's sort of a half and half jobby. There's just nick it. Right. Okay, we'll show you the back as well. Bang. That is, I think that's a comic panel. I don't think it's the final panel, because I'm sure the final panel has Superman giving this huge double axe handle down on Doomsday. I think Doomsday's coming up and it's kind of, you just Superman's chin. And they both kind of KO off just epic, absolutely epic fight. And years ago, someone was telling me a story. That's one of the story plans they had lined out for it, and this comic, this big fight, was going to open out, and there was just going to be this huge panel where he's just going to sort of map across Metropolis where this fight was taking place, and all that damage as this sort of, Superman eventually gets killed. He does. Obviously, moving fast forward to the story moves on, etc, etc, etc. It turns out, spoiler alert, so if you haven't read the story after 25 years or whatever it is now, 30 years, then what happens is Superman's sort of Kryptonian DNA and the strength from him, because of the trauma, such a severe trauma to his body and everything else, it kind of took him into this really deep sort of coma, sort of stasis. He's slowly kind of regenerated, which is how he comes back. So we see that. I can't pop all of them out because again I lack the scissors. This is to come out, but well, we'll take a look. So we've got kind of the main characters, isn't it? I'm really keen to look at Superman. Doomsday's nice and big, which is good. Nice and big, because I think the Connelly one is good, but he just doesn't seem the right size. Anyway, let's have a look. So we go top deck. Ba-bow. So we've got Cyborg Superman, who even has Lois going for a while there, as he comes back, the Superman Cyborg of his great scheme. Then you got, once Superman finally does return, he's not at full strength, as you can imagine, and he's got that kind of like black, I think it's like a regenerative suit, but I don't have to do my homework and have a little look. And you've got the Eradicator, who's probably the strange devil of characters, but it's something from a character from the Forge, I think. And again, correct me if you want. You might know better than I do. I'm a Superman fan, but not a Superman fan. So there's Eradicator. So it's kind of like an ancient energy, I think. So in Kryptonian, it's kind of thing. He's got one glowing fist. Okay, cool. No, it is supposed to be one glowing fist. I think the other one is because the old one had two. Alright. I didn't show the box off. So there we go. Look. Cool. They've all... Okay, no, I'll go through all of it. Okay, bottom, front and bottom down. But try and get it in there. Okay, cool. So we've got Steel. Love Steel. He's great. Superboy. Looking quite cool, that sort of 90s get up. And then Supergirl, who I think we find out later isn't actually Supergirl. It's an alien called Matrix being Supergirl. And now I can't remember the reason as to why. Oh, in the middle. Yeah, obviously the what we're here for. Boom, look at that. There's a Superman. And look, there's the Darius to the K. I haven't had a good look at any of their dials, really. I've had a glance, but I really want to see. From memory, I looked at it a little while back. I think Doomsday is designed to be a one-man wreck house. The Superman isn't. I think he's supposed to be part of the team to try and take Doomsday down. But yeah, I'll have a few games, experiment, play around with it, so we get up to. The only catch point, con for me in this one, is it's pretty much all got multiple dials, which are great. Except Superboy, which I couldn't work out why he'd only get one dial. I think it's 55 points, a 5-click dial. I thought, that's a little bit of a shame. But, alright, I don't know what the thinking is about that. I mean, give him a 100 point, 75 point, and a 50 point dial would be great. Do we go through the cards? We see the dials, it's just unboxing. It's more an indulgence for me than anything else. Because obviously, looking forward to getting this. When there's some screen captures, months. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. So I had a few games of the original Reign of the Superman figures. Just kind of like, I call it a sayonara game, where figures that I know I'm kind of phasing out for whatever reason, get, a few games in at the very end, because I've got a few, and anyway. Okay, cool. So that's quite nice. They all come separate on the separate cards. I know you understand what I mean in a minute. Except these two. These kind of go together. Alright. Which I thought was quite well. I didn't even know. I just realised it. I won't bore with the dials. Go look online. This is only a short and sweet one. So yeah, Death of Superman. It's a paper trade back. It's a really good story. I read it every few years because I think it's just a fantastic story. All the different characters into it. Like it's the JLI, Justice League International. Have a go. Guy Gardner, full Guy Gardner form. There's some characters that haven't been clicked yet in there. But it's just good. It's just a great story. Great story. I have to double check and dig it out if I've still got it. Anyway, that's all for me here at Warborg Gaming. I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, I'll just do it at the end. So just something out. So yeah, have fun. I might put some games up, some pictures up on the interwebs. And yeah, keep on clicking. Enjoy.